Student, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to discuss you two MCQs on Introduction to Cost Accounting, that is your Unit 1 from your Cost Accountancy book. So those who are new to my channel, please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon for latest update, and if you like the video then give a like button and don't forget to share with your friends. So without wasting any time, let's start with question number 1. The Institute of Cost and Work Accountant, that is set up in 1959, has changed its name as Institute of Cost and Management Accountant of India, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants India, Institute of Corporate Accountants of India, Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So option number D is your correct answer. Next, the technique and process of ascertaining cost is known as your costing. Next, financial accounting provide information about profit, loss, cost, revenue, assets, liabilities, etc. of the business as a whole. Okay, option number D is your correct answer. Next is your which one is not an objective of cost accounting? Ascertainment of cost, control of cost, determination of selling price, determination of financial position. तो ऑप्शन नंबर डी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. এটা কার অবজেক্টিভ? ফাইনান্সিয়াল অ্যাকাউন্টিং র অবজেক্টিভ है কি. নেক্সট ইজ योर which one is not a method of costing? Job costing, control costing, process costing, standard costing. तो এটা ऑप्शन नंबर डी जो करेक्ट है इसे टेक्निक ऑफ कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग को कहा जाए. नेक्स्ट which one is not a method of costing? अगेन ऑप्शन नंबर डी जो करेक्ट आंसर. तो এটা भी তোমার टेक्निक. which one is not a method of costing? এটা भी তোমার यूनिफॉर्म कॉस्टिंग তোমার कहा जाए आंसर. ओके, नेक्स्ट which one is not a technique of costing? That is your process costing. এটা তোমার কোন method of costing. Historical costing, standard costing, marginal costing and budgetary control are known as your what? Technique of costing. Next, which costing method is used for finding the cost of each job or work order? That is your job costing. Next is your there are two broad categories of costing methods. Those are job costing and contract costing and batch costing, operating costing and operation costing, job costing and process costing. The option number D is your correct answer. Okay, contract costing is a variant of terminal costing, work costing, process costing or job costing. The correct option is your job costing, option number D. Okay, next is your job costing is suitable when the production is continuous, when construction is undertaken, when goods are produced in batches, when work is undertaken as per the specification of the customer. The option number D is your correct answer. Okay, next is your which method of costing is applied in cement industry, steel industry, floor industry, floor mill and brick making farm? That is your unit by single by output costing, option number D. Next is your which method of costing is applied in road transport, रेलवे, एयरलाइंस एंड होटेल्स एटसेट्रा. तो ऑप्शन नंबर कौन होटेल्स कही माने तुम सर्विस कस्टिंग ही कहुए. कौन हम सर्विस कस्टिंग कस्टिंग टेक्निक बा मेथड तुम निहाती क्वेश्चन पड़ो. यहाँ डेफिनेटली 3 to 4 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन आसवा चान्स अच्छी. भल से पढ़िकिना जीव है कि. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देख व्हिच मेथड ऑफ कस्टिंग इज यूज्ड इन पेपर इंडस्ट्री, केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज, टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज, सुगर इंडस्ट्रीज. दैट इज योर व्हिच कस्टिंग? प्रोसेस कस्टिंग है कि. पे मैंने लाइक आउ शेयर करने भूलबनी. लाइक आउ शेयर करने भूलब नहीं. ओके, नेक्स्ट देखिए व्हिच मेथड ऑफ कॉस्टिंग इज अप्लाइड इन टॉय मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री एंड फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री. दैट इज योर बेच कॉस्टिंग. नेक्स्ट वेरिएबल कॉस्टिंग इज ऑल्सो नोन एज व्हाट? मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग. नेक्स्ट इज योर the cost which cannot be easily identified with a particular product or job or process are called what? That is your indirect cost. Contract costing is a variant of what? Job costing ऊपर ही थिला बे. Next is your the method of costing most suitable for medical manufacturing industry. That is your best costing by pharmaceutical industry. Okay, next the method of costing most suitable for toy manufacturing industry. এটা भी तुम्हारा best costing of answer. Next the method of costing the method of costing which is most suitable for shop manufacturing. That is your unit costing. Next is your refrigerator, car, air conditioner industries uses which type of costing? Multiple costing. Next is your which method of costing would you recommend for shipbuilding industry? That is your contract costing. Job costing and process costing are the part of what? Costing method. Job costing and process costing are costing method. Next is your Next, the costing method used by the sugar industries. Which technique of costing method used? That is your process costing. Next, bicycle industry uses operating costing, batch costing, process costing, operation costing. That is your operation costing. Next is your for mining, the appropriate costing method is your unit costing. Next is your process costing is applicable. Process costing is applicable into sugar mills. Next, when the production is continuous and units are identical, the appropriate method of costing is your what? Unit costing. Next is your 32. The objective of cost accounting is or are cost ascertainment, cost control, fixation of selling price. All of these option is your correct. Okay. Next is your the passenger bus services, the most appropriate method of costing. Service costing hi hobo. Next is your cost accounting is a part of what? General accountant. Okay. The cost accounting is a part of which that is your general accounting. Next, let's see cost which are incurred for and conveniently identified with a particular cost unit, process or department are what? Direct cost, indirect cost, main cost or original cost. Direct cost. Like option number A is your correct answer. Cost which are generally nature incurred for the benefit of a number of cost unit, processes or department and cannot be conveniently identified with a particular cost unit or cost center is called a what? Indirect cost. Cannot be identified कही है particular point को देखबार अच्छी वर्ड को हमको जानीगले हमको इजी हम आंसर देवार है कि नेक्स्ट देखो कॉस्ट ऑफ क्लॉथ इन ए शर्ट, wages paid to a tailor to stitch a shirt, exercise duty paid on production are the example of what? Direct cost. Are the example of direct cost. Lubricant oil for machine, salary of supervisor, repairs, insurance and depreciation of machine are the example of indirect cost. The three elements of cost are material, labor and expenses. Okay, option number A is the correct answer. Next is here which is not a feature of direct material cost. It cannot be easily identified with a specific job, contract or work order. It can be directly allocated to a particular product, job or process. It can be easily identified with a specific job, contract or work order. It varies directly with the volume of output. The correct answer is your option number A. Not पचाची क्वेश्चन ने केतले भी नॉट पचा दे पाए तो भल से क्वेश्चन पढ़ी कि आंसर देबो नॉट पचाची माने ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. Next is your which one is not an example of direct material? Store used in maintaining machines, timber in furniture, milk and creams in ice cream, paper in books. The correct answer is option number A. Stores used in maintaining machines. Next, the labor cost which can be easily identified with a specific job or work order is called a what? Direct labor. Next is your which one is not an example of direct labor? Time booking clerk in HR department, carpenter in furniture unit, tailor in garment unit, weaver in weaving mill. तो ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. एगा सब गुड़ा कौन डायरेक्ट लेबर रो एग्जांपल बी सी डी है डायरेक्ट लेबर एग्जांपल देछि लगी. नेक्स्ट देखिबा labor engaged in cost accounting department is an example of indirect labor. Wages paid to indirect labor are termed as indirect labor costs and are treated as a part of overheads. Overheads are also known as what? Indirect costs. Next is your the aggregate of indirect material cost, indirect labor cost and indirect expenses is called the what? Overhead. Very simple. Which one is not a basis of cost classification? By marginality. By marginality option is the correct answer. Next, which one is treated as cost when costs are classified by functions? That is a standard cost. Next, the cost which includes the cost of direct material, direct labor, direct expense and factory overhead is known as your production cost. मन रखो एटा क्वेश्चन very important. Next, your direct labor, direct expense सब मिसी गले कोन हबो tomorrow direct wages, direct expense and factory overhead is equal to conversion cost. मन रखो rent and insurance of factory building are the examples of fixed cost. Primary packing expenses form part of which that is a prime cost. Next, direct material cost is a variable cost, fixed cost, semi variable cost or office cost, that is a variable cost. Telephone expense is a semi variable cost. Telephone टा कौन semi variable आउट कौन है तुम्हारा इलेक्ट्रिक बिल भी तुम्हारा semi variable भी ऐसे एग्जांपल इटा मन रखी दुआ लगी. Next year depreciation on machinery is a what type? Is a variable cost. Is a variable cost. Next, depreciation of office equipment is an example of administration overhead, factory overhead, selling overhead, manufacturing overhead. Office building koichi, that means it's an administration overhead. Next, indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses are the result of element wise classification. Very very important. Okay. Next is your advertisement is a selling cost. Rent and rest comes under your fixed overhead. Okay. Production manager's salary is factory overhead. Production manager koichi, production management है factory overhead. Next is your warehousing cost belongs to distribution overhead. warehousing माने गोडाउन वगैरह है लगी लास्ट बिल्डिंग बा लास्ट स्टोरेज हाउस हमें कोई परवा तापे नेक्स्ट direct material that is your 20 lakhs, conversion cost that is your 20 lakh, factory overheads is your 2 lakhs, then prime cost is equals to 20 plus 20 that is your 40 minus 2 that is your 38 lakhs. Okay, next the per unit variable cost remain at a very very important question, very very important question. Per unit variable cost remains what fixed at a important पढ़िकिना जीवो ये क्वेश्चन टाको लगी. नेक्स्ट देखा डायरेक्ट मटेरियल डायरेक्ट लेबर एंड डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस आर व्हाट प्राइम कॉस्ट जानिछ भलसे कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन लगा 10 लाख देछि एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड 1,50,000 सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ओवरहेड 1,50,000 कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स तो कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स के डिवाइड करा कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन प्लस सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड ऑलरेडी इंक्लूडेड है कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन भितरे ताले से कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन आउ सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ओवरहेड ऐड कर दे ताले हमर केते आसबो 11,50,000 करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज योर सी. Next, the aggregate of indirect labor, indirect material, indirect expenses is your overheads. Very easy question. Next, when factory overhead is added to prime cost, we get work cost. है important है का सब मन रखवा. Next, if factory cost is rupees 5 lakh, prime cost is 4 lakh, direct labor is 3 lakh, then what? Then the factory overhead is 1 lakh होगा तुम्हारा factory cost to prime cost by less कर दो. है next is your opening stock. Opening stock raw material is 29,000, purchase is 1,90,000, carriage on purchase 1,500, sell scrap of raw material is 5,000 and closing stock of raw material is 36,000. Then the raw material consumed 29,000 plus 1,90,000 plus 1,500 है कि तो या प्लस कर दो और लेस कर दो कौन 5,000 और 6,000 ए दुटा तुम लेस हम है कि आमर केते अमाउंट आसो 1,80,000. ठीक अच्छे. नेक्स्ट इज योर सेल इज रुपीज 9,10,000, सेल इज व्हाट रुपीज 9,12,000, प्रॉफिट is at the rate 10% on sale, that means the cost of sales is you should find this question. Okay, एटा तुम्हें मैंने comment section में मते दबो. नेक्स्ट है question number 8, if the cost of sales is rupees 1,70,000, selling and distribution of is 25,000, sales is rupees 2 lakh, then the profit is what sales to cost of sales less कर दे तार profit कितने जो 25,000. next is your 25% of profit on sale is equals to 33.33% of profit on sale. এটা very important মনে रखवा लगी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखा कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन प्लस ओपनिंग स्टॉक ऑफ फिनिश गुड्स माइनस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ फिनिश गुड्स इज नथिंग दैट इज योर कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन a statement which shows breakup and build up cost कॉस्टिंग कह जाए ना कॉस्ट शीट कह जाए ना यूनिट कॉस्टिंग कह जाए ना जॉब कॉस्टिंग दैट इज योर कॉस्ट शीट है कि जो आम यहाँ सब देखी था. नेक्स्ट सम टोटल ऑफ डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट इज कॉल्ड योर डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट कही सम टोटल ऑफ डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट इज नथिंग दैट इज योर प्राइम कॉस्ट. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज फॉलोइंग आर द यूजेस ऑफ डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ सेलिंग प्राइस, एसेटलमेंट ऑफ प्रॉफिट, प्रिपेरेशन ऑफ बजेट, इंटर फार्म एंड इंटर फार्म कॉस्ट कंपेरिजन. व्हाट से आम कौन कह बैलेंस शीट कहवा ना पेपर कॉस्ट कहवा ना वर्क कॉस्ट कहवा ना कॉस्ट शीट कहवा तो करेक्ट आंसर इज योर कॉस्ट शीट. ओके, next is your expenses incurred in the factory for the factory and up to factory gate. very very important question है कि देखो टेक्निक को बुझ क्वेश्चन तो आम कौन कह फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट वर्डिंग्स को बुझार अच्छे है क्वेश्चन किसी भी वर्डिंग से देवे आम जानी कि वर्डिंग्स न बुझी पारे आम रंग हो है कि तो वेरी वेरी इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन गुड़ाक. हाँ, नेक्स्ट देखा सम टोटल ऑफ प्राइम कॉस्ट एंड फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड तो व्हाट दैट इज योर वर्क कॉस्ट कह जाए. नेक्स्ट सम टोटल ऑफ फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट एंड ऑफिस एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड इज नथिंग दैट इज योर कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. नेक्स्ट देखा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन sum total of cost of goods sold and selling and distribution overhead is your what? That is your cost of sales. Cost minus loss, that is nothing your sales as zero. Like an account an account giving details of cost of production, cost of sales, profit made during the particular period is nothing, is called your what? Is called as a production account. Like next देखिबा closing stock of raw material is valued at minimum cost, cost of production, average cost, maximum cost, average cost. Next is your valuation of WIP, that means work in progress, include direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and that is your what? Selling overhead, buying cost, administration cost, or factory overhead. Like next, in cost sheet we record only incomes, that is your sales of goods and sales of what? Sales of scrap. Like next, I think there is a missing of numbering. Okay. Prime cost per factory overhead plus administration overhead, what? Work cost, cost of production, prime cost, or cost of sales. The correct option was your what? Your that is your cost of production. Total cost minus selling and distribution overhead, total cost minus selling and distribution overhead हमको कौन मिलता है? Cost of goods sold मिले. Cost of production minus administration overheads हमको कौन मिलिबो? Work cost मिलिबो. Prime cost plus overheads, prime cost plus overhead is your कौन जते सब overhead साइड करले हमको cost of sales मिलिथिबो है लगी. Next question, total cost plus profit is equals to dash, selling price, cost of goods sold, selling and distribution overheads, but tomorrow gross profit. So option number B is your correct answer. Okay, next is your sorry option number B कहीदेली. तो तुम्हारा करेक्ट ऑप्शन कौन होबो? ऑप्शन नंबर ए होबो करेक्ट आंसर है कि भूल कहीदेली. ऑप्शन नंबर ए, that is your selling price, that is your selling rate. Total cost plus profit, total cost of profit is equals to selling price. Next is your the total variable cost dash in total production, total proportion to output, that is increases, that is your increases. Variable cost per unit what? Variable cost per unit remains constant, variable cost per unit remain constant. ठीक अच्छे. नेक्स्ट देखिबा फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट dash in the same proportion in which output changes. Fixed cost what? Does not change. Fixed cost does not change in the same proportion in which output changes. जते तुम production increase करिवो fixed cost remain fixed है लगी, does not change करिवो. Fixed cost per unit dash with increases in output, fixed cost per unit decreases, per unit कौन है जो decrease होता है. Next is your administration expenses are mostly dash, semi variable cost, variable cost, fixed or none of this, fixed है लगी. Next देखिबा 33, that means 34. Question number 34, cost of production is equals to, cost of production is equals to work cost plus administration overhead. Next, variable cost increases with dash in output, dash means increases in output. Variable cost एंटर बोले तो हमारा output increase करो. Fixed cost per unit dash with rise in output and dash with fall in output. Very important question. Fixed cost per unit decreases with rise in output and decreases with fall in output. Okay, next question, another one I think, no. Next question, the total of all direct expenses is known as dash, that is a prime cost. Work cost is a total of work cost is a total of indirect material by indirect labor, direct material, direct labor, director chargeable expenses and works expenses. Option number B is your correct answer. Okay, depreciation is a DAX expenditure. Very important question. Depreciation is a fixed expenditure. Depreciation is a fixed expenditure. Next, DAX expenses are excluded from cost. DAX expenditure are excluded from, that is your abnormal expenses are excluded from cost. Next is your such expenses which are included for taking managerial decisions even though they are not incurred are called very important question, that is your notional expenses. Important question. These expenses are partly fixed and partly variable, semi variable. Okay, unsuccessful research expenditure should be dash cost account, excluded from, included from, appropriate in, none of this, so it included in cost accountants. Okay, cost accounts. Salary paid to general manager, salary paid to general manager is an item of dash expenses, is an item of fixed expenses. Okay, next question. Next question देखो, fancy packing primary packing is an example of dash expenses, that is your distribution expense. Packing kotha kora distribution expenses. Okay, next is your telephone expenses, is a semi variable expenses. Primary packing is an item of dash selling overhead, prime overhead, distribution overhead और फैक्ट्री और प्राइमरी पैकिंग फर्स्ट पैकिंग जोटा कह ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन तुम कोडी आसता है फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड आसीता है लगे क्रेडिट एंड कलेक्शन कॉस्ट. क्रेडिट एंड कलेक्शन कॉस्ट इज एन आइटम ऑफ सेलिंग overhead, is an item of selling overhead. That then warehousing cost is an item of what? Warehousing cost is an item of distribution overhead. Next question. Maintenance charges are in the nature of dash expenses. Maintenance charges are is the item of semi variable expenses. पिला माने if you want to PDF जदि तुम PDF चाहुचो हला कि PDF जदि चाहुचो ताहले तुम माने टेलीग्राम ऐप रे जॉइन करो. टेलीग्राम ऐप रे जॉइन करो जार नाम अच्छे CHSE कॉमर्स ओडिशा है. CHSE कॉमर्स ओडिशा रे तुम्हें ये PDF पाई परिबो. ओके, आउ सेकंड इंपोर्टेंट करिए लाइक आउ शेयर करिया पई भूलिबो नहीं. लाइक आउ शेयर करिया पई भूलिबो नहीं. ठीक अछि. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखिबा. Fixed cost per unit decreases. Fixed cost per unit decreases केतले जेतले प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज, प्रोडक्शन वॉल्यूम इंक्रीजेस. प्राइम कॉस्ट फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड कॉस्ट इज योर नथिंग, दैट इज योर फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट. नेक्स्ट देखिबा. नेक्स्ट इज योर factory overheads. Factory overheads include all manufacturing costs except direct material and direct labor. Indirect material but not direct labor. Indirect labor but not direct material, that is option number B is your correct answer. Added cost of new product will be what is your, that is your material, labor and factory overhead. Packing cost is a what? Packing cost is a selling cost. Next देखिबा. Which of the following item is not included in preparation of cost sheet? Not included in preparation of cost sheet कहिछि हला कि कोटा देखो केरेजिन वाटर निया जाय, परचेज रिटर्न टाइप, सेल्स कमीशन, दैट इज इंटरेस्ट पेड. एटा हो तुमरो करेक्ट आंसर हला कि. नेक्स्ट, which of the following are direct expenses? हम कहू कोटा डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस देखिए. द कॉस्ट ऑफ स्पेशल डिजाइन ड्राइंग्स और लेआउट, द हायर ऑफ टूल्स एंड और इक्विपमेंट्स फॉर ए पर्टिकुलर जॉब, सेल्समैन रेंट, रेट्स, इंश्योरेंस ऑफ ए फैक्ट्री. तो ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज योर करेक्ट आंसर 1 and 2. ओके, नेक्स्ट देखिबा. A company has to pay 10,000 per unit royalty to the designer of a product which it manufactures and sell. The royalty charges would be classified. Very important question. Royalty charges ta type में देखिवा direct expenses है लगी. Next, wherever part of the manufacturing operation is subcontracted, the subcontract charges related to material will be what? Will be treated as a direct expenses. Research and development costs relating to an existing product, very important question, shall be treated as direct expenses. Fixed costs remain fixed. Fixed cost remains fixed over a short period of time, over a long period and within relevant range, over a short period and within relevant range, but over a long period. Correct option is option number C. Next देखिबा. Next is your the cost that increases as a volume of activity decreases within the relevant range is known as your average cost per unit. Important. मन रखो एगा सब गुड़ा important माने टेक्निकली गा तुम कौन जानी थिबो किंतु क्वेश्चन वर्डिंग्स देखले भूली माने करि पानु तो हैला कि तो एथि से MCQ सॉल्व करा जाए लगी. नेक्स्ट, रेंट, रेट्स एंड इंश्योरेंस ऑफ फैक्ट्री एंड ऑफिस आर द एग्जांपल ऑफ व्हाट? इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट. नेक्स्ट इज योर फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट इज ए कॉस्ट. फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट इज ए कॉस्ट which remain fixed for each unit of output, which remain fixed in total during a given period despite changes in output, which is particularly fixed and particularly variable in relation to output. Option number B is correct, which remain fixed in total during the given period despite changes in output. Output changes in सेतबेले हमर किछि भी फिक्स कोसे चेंजेस होबो नाही. नेक्स्ट देखिबा conversion cost is the summation of what direct wages, direct charges and works overhead. Next, in a factory research and development expenditure is budgeted of 2 rupees 9 lakh. This is the normal expenditure to research on research. Due to some reason research is unsuccessful, the research and development expenditure will be treated as what factory overhead. Next देखो, next है cost which can be identified easily and indisputably with a unit of operation or cost unit or cost center. Important, very important question, very important question. That is your direct cost. Administration overhead are recovered as a percentage of work overhead. Next, in element wise classification overhead, which one of the following is not included? Very important. That is your fixed overhead. Okay, एलिमेंट सब इनडायरेक्ट ही जाता है. नेक्स्ट, एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन लेबर मटेरियल दैट कैन नॉट बी इकोनॉमिकली आइडेंटिफाइड विथ ए स्पेसिफिक सेलेबल कॉस्ट यूनिट इज नॉन एज योर ओवरहेड. तापर नेक्स्ट, आइटम एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम द कॉस्ट शीट. को आइटम एक्सक्लूडेड कराई था तुमर को आइटम देखा डायरेक्ट मटेरियल थाए एडमिशन यहाँ टैक्स आम नहीं न था. ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज योर करेक्ट आंसर. Okay, next, direct labor cost which include what cost of direct material engaged in converting raw material into manufactured articles. Option number C is your correct answer. Next is your salary of a foreman can be classified as a what fixed overhead. And the last question is which of the following cost is not a factory overhead expenses? That is overtime premium paid to डायरेक्ट लेबर. पाखापाखि आम 120+ आज आम MCQs यूनिट 1 कर. आई थिंक यहाँ बहुत तुमको हेल्पफुल हम वीडियोटा. ओके माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, गॉड ब्लेस यू.